Namaste everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tina and today it's Merry Christmas. If you're celebrating other holidays, happy holidays to you, whatever those holidays may be, or even if it is simply a winter celebration. We're an all-inclusive channel here. It's Christmas, and on Christmas I've seen a ton of people doing all these looks. And that's great and wonderful for you, and I'm so glad you had the time to do that. I don't. I am baking cookies. I think I baked 6 dozen cookies. I've made fudge. I've made everything you can think of. Decorating and, putting up all those things and having a bunch of people over for the holidays. Oh, I'm exhausted. So it's Christmas evening and I got my stocking today. And some of the things in my stocking for my darling husband were these cute little bath bombs from Ulta. This one is Sweet and Shimmer Bath Bubble Wand Frosted Sugar Plum. And this is Gingerbread Marshmallow. They both smell amazing. I also have some masks. Not sheet masks. Sheet masks don't do so well if you try to take them in the bathtub. So instead I have either a deep cleaning mask or an anti-aging mask. I think today I'm going to go with this one because I just feel like kind of blah. You love my little new accessory that I got? Isn't that adorable? I will be doing a Christmas present video. This thought was, he saw it and he was like, it wasn't real expensive. It isn't like a quality one of these. He thought when I do my history of makeup videos, it would be a cute addition. And he's so right. And I have one of those, speaking of that, coming soon. I also have some anti-aging lotions and things of that nature. Some smelling good stuff in here. A shimmer powder with poof. Some nice aromatherapy going. Because, yes, that is what I'm going to be doing with my Christmas evening. Is I am going to take care of me. I'm not going to go to a party. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm done. I'm taking a bath and locking the door and nobody else is coming in because now I have to gear up for getting everything taken down and put away and packed up, and then I also have to, get ready for New Year's, which is right around the corner, although we don't do a whole lot for New Year's usually. So I'm exhausted. Are you exhausted? If you're a mom out there and it's Christmas night and your kids are downstairs playing with whatever loud toy or whatever thing they now have, are you just not ready to take a really long nap? I'm going to take my Eat, Sleep, Drink, Gossip, and Respect cup. I'm going to fill it with some very nice tea. And then I'm going to jump into a bath that smells amazing and put on a face mask and just relax, maybe cash in some of my iTunes money and buy a book or find a free one. I don't know. We'll find out. And maybe play a video game or an app game. That's what I'm doing with my nights. Let me know what you're doing with yours. I love the fact that people watch my channel. I gotta tell you, my mind was blown. I do not have a lot of followers or anything like that, although apparently more than I thought I did, because I was going through the Taco Bell drive-thru and this girl promptly freaks out and is like, "Oh, you're the girl on YouTube!" Yes I am. I do YouTube, thank you. She's like, "Oh, you do such an amazing job," and it just made me feel like so good. And my kids are sitting there going, "Mom, do you know her?" "No." "Mom, how does she know you?" Well, we live in a tiny little town, and I suspect if you look up Polson, Montana, and you lived in Polson, Montana, and you looked up Polson, Montana YouTubers, there's probably not a lot of us here, and we're probably fairly easy to find at places like Taco Bell, because who doesn't go to Taco Bell? I gotta tell you, I sort of stopped and made me think, because I generally do this video and I'm like, nobody will ever find where I live. And I think that's true for most people. But if you live here, probably pretty easy to find. It is snowing like crazy. We had 2 feet of fresh powder today. And as I'm getting out of the car, I dropped my keys. I don't know if any of you live where it snows or where it's like fluffy snow, but when you have fresh powder and you drop your keys in it, it's like a magic trick. 1 minute your keys are falling, the next minute they just disappear. And you can't even see where they went because the powder is so light and fluffy, it just goes and then floats back over the top of it, and the keys are just gone. And you have to stick your arm in it, fish around and find them and struggles. So that was my Christmas oops today. Yeah, fun times. Fun times living in snowy, cold, northern climates. Do you guys want a funny story? Because I can give you a funny kind of cautionary story. At least this is funny to me. And if you live, like I said, if you live in the north, you're gonna find this pretty funny too. If you live in the south, you may be going, wait. Bear with me. So the other day, I needed to go get some stuff in Missoula, which is 100 miles away from me. But, you know, that's not uncommon. So I needed to go. I go outside and my car is covered in snow and ice and it's like literally a blizzard out there. But it's Montana, and when you live here, you have to deal with that in the winter. And I've lived here for 20 years. So blizzard. Oh well, whatever. I have a car. I have a 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive with 4-wheel drive. You just push a button. It does a really great job. I love my car. So we get in it, we get going, and we're driving, and you know, we're probably doing in some spots 60 miles an hour, not the entire time by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, there's long sections where the road was just fine and my car was just fine, and you know, nobody was at risk of dying. So we're moving along at about 60 miles an hour, and I see this car ahead of us, and like I said, the snow was blowing really hard and it'll come in gusts, so it's hard to see for a couple seconds what's going on, like in the distance, not like right in front of you, but like in the distance. But when you're driving a car 60 miles an hour, icy cold weather with snow billowing in front of you, you slow down when you notice things like that. My son was in the car. I slowed down. That's what you do. Because I noticed flashers. So I thought somebody was in trouble. That's generally why you push the emergency flashers thing on your car. Right? Is that just me? Yeah. That's why I push it. I push it when like my car is stranded on the side of the road and I don't want somebody to hit me. That's why I push that button. So I'm driving and I slow down, and the people they're, you know, driving at the same speed as me, we all slow down and start proceeding very cautiously, because generally that means proceed with caution, and you never know what could happen. So we, you know, move forward as we're driving forward, and I realized that it's a car and it has its flashers on. So I was like, oh, maybe something's wrong with their car, because they're going really, really slow. We're like talking 20 miles an hour here. Really, really slow. In Montana, nobody drives 20 miles an hour on the highway, ever, unless you're forced to. When you're driving hundreds of miles at a time, 20 miles an hour, that would take you 8 hours to get there, or something, I don't know, crazy like that. It would take a long time. It just isn't feasible. You'll run out of gas before you got to the next gas station, I think. But we pull around up to this car, and I'm like, maybe there's something wrong with it, because, you know, it is really cold. But no, it's these people driving, and they're either not from Montana or this area, or I don't know. But they're driving a really great car for driving in the snow, actually. They're driving a Subaru Forester, but they have the flashers on, so it's making every car behind them freak out, panic that there's an accident. And we're all driving, you know, and getting over into the bad part of the road where you don't want to drive unless you have to, because of this, because the choices this person made. So, yeah, don't drive with your emergency flashers on, even if it is snowing. I mean, I know that it can be scary driving in the snow. I have been petrified driving in the snow. When we first moved here, the only car I had was a 1998 5.0 Mustang GT. with rear wheel drive positive traction, which means that that sucker would travel down the road sideways. At the slight bit of ice. I mean, it didn't travel well. So I understand being scared of the road and traveling, and I understand going slowly and cautiously, but this was ridiculous. And it's to the point where you're going to hurt somebody because you're so afraid. And I think if you're that afraid of driving in those conditions, maybe you shouldn't be driving in those conditions. I mean, this is Montana. We do have Uber. It is available. It blew my mind that there's two adults, and I did look because we were going slowly past them. It was two adults in the car. It wasn't a young teenage driver or even an elderly driver. It was, just two adults. And it was kind of like, what are you guys doing? In your concern and fear for driving in this weather, you are creating a road hazard. We took a vote, those of us from Montana. I held the vote for this myself by asking other people from Montana their opinion, and we all agreed that if that's how you're going to drive in the snow, your license for driving in the snow is revoked. You don't get to drive in the snow no more. You have to stay home and have somebody else drive you in those conditions. You may be great the rest of the time, but in those conditions, you are a hazard. So that was my kind of funny Christmas story about driving in the blizzard. And I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all those wonderful things, because I want them all for you and for me, of course. So, Merry Christmas. Talk to you guys later. Bye.